Hi, welcome. Welcome, Earth children. No matter how old you are still Earth children. You are a vast and infinite soul, and we're so happy that you've joined us here today. So excited. This is Joanna. Hi, like, share, and subscribe. I never say those things. I'm getting used to saying them because my teams are promoting me, wanting me to promote myself, which I am usually never promoting myself. I'm just doing the work. But I was so excited today. I had some new downloads about the soul's journey, the Akash, and how we have access to, as we talked about yesterday, taking ourselves from this one experience of understanding ourselves as a soul, which is something that's incomprehensible, really, who we truly are as a soul, what that really means to live as a soul. And it is a multidimensional, crystalline experience, and all moments that you move through your life's experience, depending on, again, those that you come in contact with, the light that's being shone on you and within you and out, and those of the entanglement, then you're allowing yourself to become a new version of the soul in and of itself. So every interaction of love and light, every interaction and every moment changes the soul itself. And why it's so important that we really take ourselves into reflection and into commandmentship, that sovereignty of who we are, and really start refining our environment, start refining our circle of co-creations and who we hang with, and how that can alter and shift our soul's experience, and really taking us out of those environments that are, negative and continually depleting, and having us shift in every experience that we can, or changing those negative environments to more positive ones, because everything affects the crystalline experience of who you are. And so having those honest and compassionate conversations about what is really important to you as the sovereign soul that you are, allowing yourself to be the highest and the most expressive soul version of you, so that you can become that mother and father experience and really begin that new vibrational experience of now shifting all past and present and future potentials of you, the health of you, the wellness of you, the light of you, so that you can truly have this divine soulful experience as the spiritual body that you're now allowing yourself to harmonize. And so there's a couple of really key things, and this is really expansive and really, really cool. And so I'm happy that we're going to get started on this. For those of you that would like to donate, the links are below. We would really love that. Or sending me an email for those of you that want to be in that week that we have from the 19th to the 26th, any of the 444 private sessions. I probably won't offer them again until spring or summer. It depends on how busy I get. So they're only for a limited time offer, and we'll offer them until Friday. And so there's 2 more days left. And so we wanted to talk about, I had a private client session today, and from that private client session, I've said always that I open up into these beautiful portals of working with these new beings. Today I was working with a new collective I've never worked with before through this personal client. So I'm really, really happy that we're having all of these different clients come in. And thank you to the Councils of Light that we're going to do in and out of channeling to really go into this really, I get really juicy experiences about who we really are as souls. How much joy and sovereignty and drivership that you have of your own vessel, your own creative reality experience, and really soak within it in your reflection times, how important reflection times are to continually work on the redirection and the constant alignment of your path, constantly recalibrating yourself as a soul, constantly recalibrating yourself as this beautiful spiritual body that is harmonizing and transitioning in all ways that it does. Our bodies are working so very hard for us, and why it's really important that we really pay attention. What kind of life do we really want to live? Are we living in our highest and our best? Are we of the best health? Are we allowing to let go of every vibrational story that we have in our social collective and really begin to create the manifestation of this beautiful vortex of potential that we are infinite beings of soul creatorhood? And so we're going to take you out there in a little bit of pondering into the wild and the unknown of the Akash and what that really is to the soul and the soul level. Now that we're allowing ourselves to fully understand that we are souls, we are vibrating on the spiral of now time as souls. The more that we are intimate with our ascension cycle, the 2 main parts that we'll be talking about today is the soul, the experience of the soul, and how it interrelates with the Akash and your co-creation with your Akash, how that works with spirit and God and creatorhood and the whole creation in and of itself. and also too, your ability to tap into your moment for moment revelation and your revolution of who you are as a dynamic soul and spiritual body that is absolutely under your entire commandmentship. And the intimacy, 3 parts, because you can't get the first 2 if you're not doing the third one, which is your daily self-care, understanding your ascension cycle, and allowing yourself the time for reflection and integration, unpacking all of your experiences as the soul, and what that means for you, how it feels, how you're manifesting your own mastery through the integration of all that you are as soul and all that you are as harmonizing light and harmonizing song and harmonizing beautiful excitement for yourself. And to do and be and honor the fulfillment of who you are, the true soul's fulfillment of who you are, that point where you're really living with no regrets and you're feeling the excitement of who you are. The only thing that we ever take with us at the end of our life is our soul's experience. And that is the utmost importance for all ascension. That is why we ascend. We ascend to evolve in the soul's experience of who we are. We are constantly handed test after test after test because we want the various vibrational experiences for the soul's evolution. Because we know that that soul's evolution affects everything. So that as you're going through a really traumatic time here, you're clearing it for something, for a body of you or a friend or a soul partner of you that's going through something here. So your soul's experience is so important. And why, if you stay in really dysfunctional, toxic, or imbalanced experiences, it affects the whole soul family. So it's really, really important to get intimate with your ascension cycle, what that means for you. When you're going through a release, do you have the support? When you're going through a release, are you reaching out for that extra self-care for your physical, your mental, your emotional, your etheric? Now that you're allowing yourself to release those densities and realign with a higher vibrational belief pattern, then you're allowing yourself that recognition that, wow, I really got this. I am the driver of this experience, and it's really, really incredible because I know that I'm operating as a soul. There's many parts of me that are coming forward to be seen and shown, that want to be recognized, that want to be accepted fully and unconditionally. Why we manifest those experiences into our physical reality, because the soul of you is saying, you have a part to play here, and you might not know the person that you're helping out by doing so, by being so. And we sometimes get so caught up in the linear separative experience that, oh no, I'm here and I don't know that I'm affecting somebody in India here that's a part of my direct soul family, that on another planet I'm a brother and sister, and they need to see that recognition that you get that lesson. And so that's why getting intimate with your soul's ascension journey. Are you in a release period? Are you in an integration period? Are you unpacking the light that you call for every day? Are you working with, your daily self-care? And then we've got these up, the little journals in your daily self-care, so that you're in partnership like this with spirit and your soul's team and your guides and everything that spirit has to offer you in all moments, taking yourself off that 3D treadmill track where it's a constant repetition of mental programming. And we're going to say something really quick here that we also came up with in our vibrational session today. When you're in tune with your ascension, your monthly, cycle of ascension, when you get used to what a release feels like, what you get used to when your awakening happens and you want to reach out and touch new classes and you want to maybe explore something new, maybe try different foods, and your body goes through this whole awakening process. It's a cycle. Your body is showing you into greater light, and it's up to you, listening to your inner guidance, listening to your soul, listening to the God of who you are within, that you begin living in a different way. Your whole reality changes and shifts when you're the master of it. And why that's really important is that we're going to be going through these really big shifts. And most of us that have been awake for so very long, we've been on this path for so very long, don't want to date ourselves, but what they were showing me is that our entire collective, many of the collective cosmic planetary experiences, if you will, that have held us in stagnation, there's going to be a beautiful purifying, if you will, of many of the stagnant energies that have been in the field. They've been in the field through much of the, they're showing me it goes prior to COVID, the dense imprints and the thought forms that we all project. Any of the fear programs that, go really haywire when we hear the really drastic and controlling fear programs and fear mongering energies in the news and the media and all of those things that occur, those get built up in the field. And so there are very seasonal experiences that come through and they bathe all those energies. The collectives that have been going through any type of energetic stagnation or suppression or oppression or subjugation through any types of black magic or subliminal energies in many of the different countries that work with, you know, really intense governmental fear programs, all of those things. And so it's up within the councils of light and all the beautiful galactic and planetary experiences. And plus it comes from our intentions of our own hearts. Always know that. That's why awakening is so important. The more that we awaken and are consciously connecting with our heart connections and who we are as divine spiritual beings. Spiritual beings have nothing to do with religion, but it's also a part of it. And our heart pulse is about, you know, something that we might hear in China about, you know, certain types of governments that hold peoples in great harm's way and great control and great fear. And just our pulsations to change that, and just wishing to change to freedom and liberation, and sending everybody light and love, and sending all governments light and love, and sending all governments liberation, and sending all governments peace and joy and light. The more that each and every one of us do, the heavenly councils and all of the galactic and celestial beings and from all across the cosmos begin including upgraded, enhanced light systems to do these bathings of the imprints in the field, so that we step out as a collective individuals. And many of us that have been on this program of awakening for so very long, we absolutely know that when we're stepping out of those really dense mental cycles that just keep us on a dense cyclical routine, if you're following such a routine that you rarely change, or you're clicking on the same things over and over and over again, you know that you're in a mental program that needs to be broken. So it's really important to watch how your routines are throughout your day, what you do throughout your day. And if it's consistent and obsessive, or in a controlled manner, or in a competitive, repetitive experience of a routine, whether it's the same walk to work, the same habitual patterns, then really step out of it, because those are mental processes that affect your cell, that affect your cells, that affects your DNA, it affects everything. That's when you stay within that 3D mental experience, because they're all mental programming. And that's kind of how we've been moving about our reality, is through the mental programming of what we've been taught and told. But now we're raising our consciousness, and consciousness is the spirit and the soul's essence. The spirit and the soul's essence seeks for that exploration and experience. That's how it expands. And it does so by the light vibrations, by the harmonic vibrations that everybody is now awakening to. When you awaken to your senses as this multidimensional being through your intentions, wow, I really want to explore this world of feeling and sensing and intuiting my way around all that is spirit, your gifts begin to turn on, and you begin seeking out that love and that light of the communication that is multidimensional at all vibrational levels. Because they're showing me now that, yes, the 12th dimensional beings are doing many upgrades to our biosphere. I'm so grateful for getting out into the beautiful nature, so that I can begin tapping into those energies of the Gaia is changing, and the elementals that are shifting with her, and the creator gods that are constantly upgrading the they're called the teleshift fields, depending on the consciousness that you hold and the excitement that you hold as the sacred child to play with Gaia and to be a part of Gaia and commune with Gaia and awakening into your gifts with Gaia, that those teleshift plates change, and we all have access to those, as I said earlier. The intention that we hold for our planet to be free and liberated and happy and joyful, and in what way we do, whether it be seeing all collective countries on our planet liberate their peoples, through love and joy and unity and oneness, through our planet being completely disease-free, whatever your heart pulsations are, we awaken in that consciousness of the heart, which affects the teleshift fields that we all co-create within, and we're able to receive, download information in and of that. Thank you, creators. Thank you, creators. I'm so grateful, creators. And just as I've been noticing today in our channels, that I've been opening up into different groups of communication. So sometimes my mouth can only speak so fast because it's linear, and the information I receive is multidimensional, which is the now essence. So I'm having to transmute and transport the information back and forth into various systems of integration of the physical systems, is which we're talking about today, which is a whole other video in and of itself. And so those of you that would like to connect with us in these experiences of vocational training, alignment, and multidimensional communications of the now experience of higher vibrational information, please feel free to link me, and we can have our discussions in our own private time through the councils that offer this information. And so we're going to realign with the frequency topic today of the soul's integration, which would go hand in hand with what we are offering, in that you're awakening through the soul and of itself, and calling in and acknowledging yourself as a soul in all moments, the integration of your spirit, your heart, your mind, and your soul. Of the physical body, you are now integrating of itself as the physical body being spiritual, the cells, the organs, the bones, the body, and getting used to affirming in all that you are a spiritual being. You are a body of light. Your bones are becoming less and less less of the frequency that was holding itself in a 3D pattern, if you will. Everything is a vibrational pattern. You choose the vibrational pattern through which the matter form of who you are is choosing of itself to be simply by the patterns that you have held, routines, habits, and so forth. Therefore, when you awaken, you get to choose. I choose a different pattern. I choose my body to move in a light way today. I choose my body to live in a new experiential way today. My body and my soul want to experience something new. And so, thus, then, therefore, your soul's experience of your body and the body of your soul's experience become unique and different. And we advise each and every one of you, if you so desire, to increase your ability to communicate with your soul as your body, and your body as your soul, as the spirit and the light that you are. For you're acknowledging that everything within and without is light. How you engage and interact and perceive in this changes your entire reality and your body within it. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? And so, yes, they're asking me to slow down, but the energy is just going so fast. And so I want to stay on topic. So otherwise I could go on for hours. And so we wanted to talk about the body in and of itself being spiritual. The body in and of itself being spiritual is you're keeping up with the harmonization of constant light integration. Our planet's being bathed by light. You in your driver's seat, you're calling in that light, communing with yourself as light, acknowledging yourself as light, breathing and eating and walking about in these new patterns. There's not anything like what it used to be, because you want to step out of the mental pattern, shake everything up and come back to the spirit of who you are, so that you're self-governed, you're self-directed. You're knowing that your environment must be healthy and nourishing. Your choice of words and your choice of environment and jobs and vocation, everything is nourishing that spirit of who you are. And in that, you're allowing yourself to, again, acknowledge that the rest of you is also being affected by everything that you're now walking as the experience of your soul and the soul's experience of you. Remember, as the councils of light just said, your body I was clearing. I'm calling a greater light. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. So that was a big point. So you might want to write that one down and just ponder on it. Your body's experience of you as the soul is changing as you acknowledge yourself in and of it. Therefore, you're calling in those aspects, as you so often, as you so choose, it's always free will, to live as that soul. You're accounting for that part of you that is Pleiadian, that part of you that is Andromedan, that part of you is Cassiopean, that part of you that is from Epsilon, that part of you that is angelic, that part of you that is Gaia, that part of you that is the gnomes, that part of you is whatever you want it to be, because you're part of the all. You're acknowledging yourself as this soul, your soul's experience, which is beyond and vast beyond what you know. And we've got a little channel piece that confirms that. Of course, we have no way of putting in any human ideology or linearity or packet of what a soul is, because your soul, the light of your soul, how the soul reorganizes its constituents of all that it is as a soul. We say constituents as the products that say go in a vaccine is a constituent. It has many things in it. So does your soul. Your soul is the cells. Your soul is the body. Your soul is your spirit. Your soul is all of the codes and the inclusions of all stories you've ever come from. All realms, all bodies, all forms, all stories, all lineage, all Akash, everything. Everything. Your Akash is written by your soul's experience. This is really profound. I get so excited. Our main point and topic, and we'll probably extend the video tomorrow. Our main topic today is how important the soul's experience is and how much you have authority in driving that experience to affect your entire soul. How your soul carries light, how your soul manifests as light, how your soul manifests the goodness of the light for all others and affects other planets and other countries and other aspects of our collective to say, yeah, I want our collective to be fully liberated from all disease. I want our planet to be healthy. I want other governments to liberate their peoples. Those are infusions of light that my heart pulsates loud, and it's rainbow pulsations of love and light everywhere. That affects the whole consciousness of the all. So your excitement and your worthiness to live as the sacred child, and what Mother, Father were showing us for so long now, is the fifth dimensional portal, and the gateway is to be rich in spirit and to live as the sacred child, so that you're always in constant state of evolutionary joy, because that joy evolves the soul in profound ways that you have no idea. And that's what we take with us. We never take with us anything. I've had this conversation with my kids so many times. We never take anything with us of what we've been taught in old world ideologies for thousands of years, of our importance and our worth being placed outside of us. Any roles that we've held, any titles that we've held, any nameplates that we have from any corner office, none of that ever matters. What matters is the experience that our soul creates and motivates and evolves through and revolves through, and how we are the drivers of that now, because we understand we're awakening, we're souls. We have many different vast experiences and intelligences and gifts and wonders that we have from all over the galaxies that activate through our DNA, through our soul's experience and our soul's timing, our divine timing, the intimacy we have with our soul's cycle. We can now have that intimate experience, and we can now say, wow, it's such an intricate plan, Spirit. I'm a part of this beautiful, intricate plan that we wrote about in our first book, about how beautiful and elegant this beautiful, incredible process is, about how we are threaded with Spirit in so many dynamic ways that we just have no idea. And the soul does. The soul wants you to be a part of this exciting journey. And so as you're calling in the excitement of who you are as the soul, your body starts getting increasingly excited to be the body of light, to be the experience of your soul. Remember, your body is a spiritual experience. Your body's been waiting for you forever. However old you are now, your body's been waiting for you to drive it as a spiritual body, to incorporate and harmonize it as the soul. Because it changes the cells. It changes your ability to attract disease or not. It changes your ability to shift and rewrite hereditary experiences or not. So your body is the spiritual experience of the soul is so profound, and you can write that into your daily experience, and you can become more aware. I mean, these are really life-altering experiences of who we are as humans, spiritual humans. Like what we're talking about today is infinitely and incredibly vast and valuable for every single person on this planet. Make no mistake about it, how valuable this information is for the experience of who we are as souls, becoming more in charge and sovereign of who we are as these dynamic beings that get to shift and change all that we are. It's so beautiful and it's so brilliant. And we're absolute drivers of it. It's always free will, Spirit. Spirit will always offer you everything and anything, but it's up to you. And that's what's been called the eternal breath. The eternal breath is that in each breath, you have the commandmentship to allow yourself this dynamic journey of threadedness, of oneness. And it's how we perceive ourselves, it's how we believe ourselves, that we shift ourselves into a whole new realm of health and wellness and interactivity and engagement and communion with our soul, which is everybody else. And so what they were showing me is this beautiful experience, and we're just going to go flip it up now to the Akash. And we're talking about the cycles of the soul, and we've often talked about that when you go through a summation, and your summations can be anytime you want. I'm now offering to you, and I have been suggesting for a while, that you do summations weekly as opposed to just waiting till the new moon. And these summations are your communion with your guides and your soul and your higher self, that when you come forward every lifetime, you have a soul's blueprint that says, I'm going to learn these things for my own soul's journey that's connected with, again, the fanning out of everybody else in my soul's collective, my oversoul and my oversoul of oversouls, but it also is the collective of Gaia, the collective of all the nature elements, because when you start activating your DNA, all that you become entangled and engaged with and commune with is the collective of Gaia, the biosphere, and everything else that you have access to as a multidimensional being of communication and interpretation. And you also have the collective of humanity. And that's why when you start to activate and awaken, yeah, I want someone in China to feel fully free and liberated. That's my wish for them. I want them to feel the liberation of joy and happiness and excitement. And you send out those heart pulsations of liberation and oneness. That changes the consciousness level of the imprints that are in the field, that are seasonally bathed through the various councils and the galactic beings that help clear and cleanse our planet of heavy, dense thought forms of subjugation and fear and control. But we have that opportunity to do that as well from our own field, because we are held within magnetic fields of love and light. But if we're not presenting ourselves as the spiritual body, if we're not knowing ourselves as spiritual beings of light, if we're not managing and operating and nourishing our bodies as fields of light, and we continually reach out to those mental programs that keep us on routines of limitation, then we will not experience the multidimensional oneness and allness that we have to engage with and commune with. Which is fine, because it's the process of your awakening, right? You have absolute control of your epicenter of light. All that you are is light. So now that you know that you're an epicenter of light, your cells in your body is a spiritual body, all connected with your soul, call in your soul to become that harmonization and that operation of light with you. And they gave me this beautiful experience today. And so I'm just going to take a sip of coffee while they want me to know if it's a channel or just an expression. And so they're just saying I can channel if I want. Thank you. And so we've talked about how important it is your daily self-care and understanding your ascension cycle so that you can be more of a part of your summation. You can be more of a part of your entanglement, your engagement of your body with your growing community of light. And we say growing community of light, again, it is the all. It's the biosphere, it's the trees, it's those people on the other side of the planet that you don't know. And it's also those other body and soul aspects that you hold in other bodies and forms, your children, the family, the house, everything. It affects everything because you're now a soul. You're operating as a soul, and you always did, you always were, but now you're aware of it. That's the awakening process. And then you can have more fun with your reality and see what comes back to you because you're a vibrating being now in charge of you and your reality. Thank you, Spirit. They're just waiting for my body to return to homeostasis. See this, when I'm tapped into spirit, they can just go and go and go and go and go. But they know that I too have a physical body and I need to breathe. Thank you, Spirit, for letting me come back down in operation of light. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. And so the experience that we had today with inclusion of the soul and how it affects the Akash when you're going through your summation and how your soul experiences your soul's experience. So important. It's the main point today, so ponder on it. Anything and everything that you take with you is only and will ever only be your soul's experience. That's it. That's it. You can't take any of the material things. It's just the experience you have to, know what it's like to have a house. Any of the beings that are outside of you that sometimes we get so attached to and so oftentimes obsessed with, none of that is anything as opposed to the experience of what an obsession feels like with someone, or having the loneliness of not having that being there. Those are just the experiences of the emotions that we're meant to move through as humans, as well as communionship, as well as friendship, and all of those things that are infinite with spirit. And anyone that is before you is teaching you that soul experience. It's about the soul experience and why when you run in routines, it stagnates your evolutionary growth of the whole soul. The soul needs its expansive experience in all ways, in all energies. So take yourself out of every routine that you can so that you can begin to experience yourself as the soul and how vibrationally potent it is to take yourself out of everything that is a routine. Your body and your soul and your cells and your wholeness require evolution. And you're the one that gets to revolve and be the revolution of you and rewrite your story. And so we want you to get the concept of what we all know to be the Akash. And the Akash is the library of holding through which you are as this body, now awake as the whole soul. And so in this one experience of mine, I was having a conversation with the beautiful councils, and we were going on this beautiful summary of my ascension. And that's what's called the summation, is when you review and reflect on what that section of time, if you will, which is not really a section of time because it's all spiraling now. It's all now moment. We're releasing all linearity. That section of soul's experience, right? Say from last week to this week, because if you want to do your summations weekly, last week to this week, and just say my soul's experience from last to now. You can just say last to now and just release all time. And then just review and reflect, physically, mentally. How did I grow? How did I experience myself as a soul? How did I experience my body as a spiritual body? How was I shifting and changing in the food that I thought was spiritual for my body? Was I dreaming more spiritual dreams? Was my body a part of that spiritual experience? So really get into this experience of intimacy with your summation and start getting rich with it. Then you start getting rich with your life's reality, because they were showing me this one experience that I was going through, and we were in this summation experience, and I was at this crossroads of experience, and I was saying, the various councils and the boards were saying, because I'm going on many different experiences on many different timelines and many different groups that I'm a part of, and I can sense and I can feel it. So when I have a discussion with my team, I'm having a discussion with many groups, like infinite groups, along with the Akash and Mother, Father, God, of course, and my teams and my guides and everybody that I belong with. And so they were saying, okay, well, here's the information. And we placed it down on the Akashic table and we all went through it. And I was just saying, well, no, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. And then the boards were just saying, okay, define. They're getting used to, because I'm always talking with them. I'm like, no. And so they were having this discussion of the big Akashic book. You know, they show me this big Akashic book, and the grandfather of the Akash, and there's only the certain beings that are allowed to write in the Akash with these special groups that are with Mother, Father, God. And you are they're writing with Mother, Father, God. And so they're all the councils and the groups, and you're sitting, I'm just going, well, no. My soul's experience, this is how rich it was. This is where I was so passionate about my story, about that summational period. And I was saying, no, this and this is what this is my expression of my soul. This is just so important to me, and this is why. And I looked at it from all the other angles on why it was so rich for me. When I took it right from when I was a child, I said, this meant a lot to me, that meant, and I was pulling out all of these threads of these important moments, right, of my soul's experience and expression, and how it's so related to this packet of soul experience that I was summating. And so they all said, okay, and the grandfather began to rewrite the Akash, and he began to rewrite the beauty of what I had experienced, because now I was a part of that I was a part of the engagement. I was a part of the entire creation of my soul's experience. I can't underestimate how profound this is when you really understand who you are in all of creation, creating your reality with Spirit, God, you and God, and all of the creators that are with you, saying, okay, yeah, well, let's change that. Let's shift that. Let's write this now. Let's write that now. You have absolute access to be as multidimensional as you so choose. But are you passionate to say, no, this is what I express myself as? I was really passionate about this. And yes, I didn't hit the point there, and there, but I hit the point here, here, and here. And that meant a lot more to me. So this is where you really get passionate when you wake up every day. Remember, all you take with you is the experience of your soul. How engaged are you? How engaged are you to say, today I'm really going to get excited about who I am as a spiritual body? How can I do this, Spirit? How do you want to work with me? Let's call in the elementals. Let's go out to the forest and let's just talk and commune. And then you go back and you write about it, and you be a part of this spiritual experience, because that's spirit. Those of us that are visionaries, those of us that are vibrational healers and conduits, we can see the unseen. We can feel the energies and the imprints that spirit gives us. And so in this experience, they were just saying, in all of these councils and all these groups that were here, and they always see me go through things. They know at a vibrational level from, say a council group that I have 11th and 12th dimensional beings that I'm on a council with, they see it, and from their perspective, the 11th and 12th dimensional frequency. They do not, however, have my body that's 3, 4, 5D. They know my Akash. They know all timelines I've ever been on. They know my life because they were with me when I was born, and every experience through it all, right? They're all threaded. They all know, and they have seen it in the movie that they play. They can feel fragments of my body's soul experience. That's why they said, again, you are known by your vibration. When you're super happy and passionate and joyful, you're hitting all points in creation. Creation knows you because it's light. They're feeling that vibration. It ripples out through everything. That's the butterfly effect. So too, if it's negative and nasty and icky, right? It's all vibration. So the more that you're clearing out who you are, the more you're getting excited about who you are, the more passionate you are about your expression in the soul, your soul, you get to have those beautiful, colorful, just, beautiful, reverent and self-honoring expressions and experiences and communions with Spirit and the Mother, Father, God, and all of the councils, and say, I want to really bring great color to my life. I want to live as the soul. I want to be engaged in everything, Spirit. Show me how to do it. I want to have great passion about who I am. And I'm going to come to the table once a week and I'm going to say, I want this written in my Akash for next week because I'm trying really hard on this week. So get excited. Really get excited. And so they were showing me in this, and I was just going into this vibrant story of, I know that I can have that communion with the councils and with all the teams that I know are always with me. They've always been with me since birth. I always know, I've always been talking with these beings, and I see what and how we come forward soul time after soul time after soul time, because that's a part of the Akashic healing, and a part of what as being uplifted for humanity is to say that we are absolute beings of souls, and we have absolute access to affect every other soul on the planet and to creation. How passionate are we about being human? How passionate are we about being spirits and souls? And we have access to now rewrite our stories. And we say rewrite with the highest of reverence, because when you're having those communions with such holy councils, you're saying to the Creator that I am one with you in this threading, and I want to be passionate about me. I want to meet you equal measure. It's always the richness of spirit. right? That's how you manifest reality, is the richness of spirit. No other way. No other outside mental tool, no other mental energy will get you there, because it's not a mental process. It isn't. It is the essence of who you are as the soul. It's your spiritual experience of who you are. And that is of intention, on only pure intention. And that's why there's blocks, and that's why there's the cut down, you know, and spirit has absolute access to say if it's not being used in the highest and the best, they'll be shut down. The spirit knows who's using it in a pure intention, who's not using a pure intention. And that's when those experiences get, you know, bing, 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 you know, the door's closed, shut, 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 right? And so, but your communion with spirit is like this. And if you're passionate about who you are with spirit, and you say, wow, spirit, my experience with you was so rich that day. I just felt everything alive within me, and I want to rewrite something really great tomorrow. So again, the morning and at night, start becoming more of a soul integration. Start asking of your spiritual body to be a part of you in this writing of your experience, so that your Akash, when you're sitting down in your weekly summation, you know, and your teams will say, what about this, this, and this? Your teams will never, ever tell you that you did anything wrong or bad. They just won't, because it's always about experience and exploration. You might have to have something happen 10 times for you to master something. So there's never any right or wrong. Your teams will say, you know, okay, define, show us where you're coming from. Because again, when they're sitting at a 11th and 12th and 10th experience, they see it from their experience of being 10th and 12th dimensional. They have great wisdom and insight and intelligence of all dimensions in between 0 to 11 and even beyond. Not actively, because you can only have the consciousness from where you sit, right? The vibration that you sit within. And so their 11th dimensional vibration cannot have felt what I felt as a 3D going through a death process, you know, of a huge soul fragment. They conceptualize, I say conceptualize from their, you know, however 11th dimensional being can have that experience through me, right? Because the creators live through me, and they come through me often when they're wanting to work with me, you know, and they're a beautiful collective of beings, and they have that experience with me, but they still are not in my body. They feel partial expression of me. But for me to come forward in the expression of my 3, 4, 5D experience, that's harmonizing and encapsulating, and also they're wanting me to make sure. It's so hard to define these things as dimensions, because sometimes the human mind gets so caught up in compartmentalizing. When I'm saying that I'm having these communions with these beings, so do all of you. We, at a 5D experience, I have to have a certain level of consciousness to allow the 11th dimensional beings to commune with me in that experience. So when I say that my body right now is 3, 4, 5D, still releasing 3D density, because I'm still going through ascension, and I'm still releasing negative beliefs and dense beliefs and so on and so forth. But there are a lot of parts of me that are 5D. It's a vibrational threading. You cannot ever package a vibrational bandwidth of saying this is 3, that's 4, that's 5. No, because you're constantly harmonizing. So this is a top-down effect of who I am. So when I'm channeling 11th and 12th and 13th dimension beings, there might be a half particle that is 12th dimensional, and it's allowing me the access to the 12th and 11th dimensional and 9th and 10th and 8th dimensional beings. So there's threads. It's threads of vibration. That's what dimensionality is. They're vibrations of your consciousness touching that thread, touching that thread, touching that thread. The more that you practice opening up to your gifts and aligning with the pillar of light and the councils and your teams, you get used to pulling in those threads, that the information that you need is there for you to transmute, interpret, and unpack, right? Because as our bodies are harmonizing greater soul light, you're going to have to unpack that information and translate it into your new reality. It's all vibrational threading. This is where we're so excited. So really get excited about, we're so grateful. Thank you, Spirit, and the heavenly councils. And they're always with you wanting to write your story, but you have to be the one to engage. You have to be the one to say, I'm really passionate. I'm really passionate about who I am, Spirit. And this is what I learned. And that's where I really fell short. And this is where I'd really like to do better next time. And I really like to call this experience in so I can really challenge myself. And I want to really experience myself to fully receive this way. You know, I'm really opening up to receiving some really great relationships that are at that vibrational level that will, you know, commune with me at a vibrational level of complete unconditional giving and receiving. And so I'm opening up to those new relationships, which is so new for my soul. You know, in human body form, because it's always been such a separate experience for me, being someone that's come forward in a double or triple mission that's felt like I've had to constantly give information out and help and be that light worker. But now I'm saying, now this new journey of mine is going to be focusing a lot on receiving in a reciprocal way that is of that vibration that I'm now reaching and able to open in receipt of those vibrations, and to have someone on that journey with me. And so those are those experiences that will help me expand in the soul's expression, because I've had the soul's expression of density and pain and suffering, and I'm really done with it. I'm really done with the suffering part, and so now because I had to have that to help others through the minutia of the various bodies and the psyche wounds and all the things that we've come from and in. So the only way for me to go through it is to have the most expansive experiences of darkness and density, so I could help others move through their darkness and density and explain it at a multidimensional level, so that we all know that we're souls going through the same experience of being human, honoring the human experience in the infinite ways it's meant to. Everybody's soul's progression is meant to be unique and different in pacing and temperament and all things that go along with it. And why, when people awaken, they'll realize that they're going to start branching off and breaking off and going in different ways, because your soul's experience and expression and speed and pace and temperament are different. You might have souls that go over here for a couple of years and go over there for a couple of years, because their souls need that expression and that expansiveness of the experience. That's what their souls need. And no two souls are written in the exact same way that you're on the same journey, thread by thread. You just can't be. It's impossible because your unique soul's experience is your unique soul's experience. And the more engaged you are with it, the more that you're working intimately with your cycle and unpacking all the richness of your light, you get to say and be with your councils and your teams, and they're saying, okay, well, tell me how rich you are with your spirit. And you can say, right on. They asked me. Okay, here we go. Get your pencil ready. The big grandfather of the Akash is like sitting there writing your new story. And it's like, okay. And they showed me that the big grandfather was writing in the Akash. And, this beautiful experience that you can imagine, these beautiful, beautiful beings of our heavenly stories. We're so, so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm so lucky I get to experience this and show it to humanity about how special. I love you. How grateful each and every one of you are to be a part of this beautiful journey, to soak within your own Akash, how beautiful you are, the beautiful soul, and really get rich with it. And really feel yourself into this expression of this expansiveness of back and forth of love and communion, and to know that you're going to have this richness if you so choose. But you got to choose it. You got to choose to be passionate about you. And many civilizations, when they passed on and they left their bodies, if you will, many of the questions that were asked were not of, who they were and what their successes were. It was, were they rich in passion? And did they live a passionate life? Because again, that's directly related to the expansiveness of the experience of the soul. Were you passionate? Did you live a passionate and great life? Are you going to go with no regrets about being the richness of you, about allowing your body to be as spiritual it is, about knowing that you have engagement with all, you can say, let's rewrite it, Spirit. Here we go. This is who I am today, and I'm going to be rich in spirit, and I'm not going to hold back. I'm no apology for anything. This is who I am, because I've come from many heavens and I know who I am. I am the affirmation of the I am that I am. I am that I am, and I know who I am. I am beautiful and I am sacred, and I am rich in spirit, and I choose to write my experience as rich and divine and sacred as I am. And I am rich in spirit. And all of creation is felt. Thank you. And so when you know that your expression is sacred and you're honoring yourself as sacred and you're passionate and you get to have this expansiveness experience, you begin to see, wow, there is life systems within life systems. It's elegance within elegance. It's divine within divine, and spirit speaking with you all the way through it. That spirit reverberating spirit, you as the soul reverberating you as the soul, and all of your soul gets that expansive experience. That particle of you on a fifth dimensional series is feeling it. When you're passionate about you, the Sirius beings feel it. Andromedans, the Orions, the councils of light feel it. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to be a little bit passionate about who you are? Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. It's beautiful. And so let's read and so anybody that wants sessions with us, private sessions or vocational sessions, our website link is below, and we're still offering the 444. And so here's what they said. The soul's experience will run in unison with your vibration. and how entrained you are in allowing yourself your own reality is truly created by your souls and your core vibration. Again, your core vibration is so key. So if you're feeling happy and passionate about who you are, your ability to respond and connect and engage with your reality is directly in unison, right? So as we say, when I do private clients and we're opening up in the portal, and all of a sudden the beings come in and they say, okay, here's what you got, here's what you got, and the visions come in and I say, okay, this is what we're working with right now, multidimensionally, because I see multidimensionally. I say this because I'm showing you what really happens when you're in those high vibrational engagement experiences. And the more that you do that, the more that you'll be able to see and you'll be able to feel and sense, or whatever your gifts are, to interpret yourself as the soul. I'm only giving you from the conduit's perspective so that you can too, right? Everything that I say is because you can too, right? And that's what these sessions are for, is to uplift you. You can too. You are a divine soul. You are practiced in your gifts. You just have to perceive and believe yourself as so. Okay, release the vibrational programs that say you're not special, because you are. Your value is held completely within you, not outside of you. You are expansive and infinite and eternal. You have access to the greatest health. You have access to the greatest wealth. You have access to the greatest experience of multidimensionalism as all. And you are. And it is directly related to your core vibration. Your core vibration helps open up the density so that you're accessing that higher vibrational information. You then get to unpack it. You then get to interpret it. You get to be with it and sit with it, and you get to explore it, because that's the soul's experience. That's what the soul wants. Soul wants to be rich in spirit. Then you have that access to higher vibrational informations and wisdom. You become 5D. Okay, that's a whole sentence. Sorry, I have to read it. I never put when I channel right, it's like all one big paragraph. There's no breaks. The soul's experience will run in unison with your vibration and how entrained you are. So remember, entraining yourself as a soul, entraining your body as spiritual. Start speaking and living and behaving as your body is spiritual. So how entrained you are at allowing yourself the reality that you so choose through your soul. Through your soul, you're calling your soul up, and your body can start to create realities. So live as the soul and train your body as spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Created by your core vibration, and that unveils from your past energy. So anything that you're experiencing right now is just a version of your past energies. We say past, but it's all now. You just need to get into the habit and getting into the new entrainment of who you are now, your experiences, right? And plus those experiences come to you to make sure that you're mastering what you need to master, because that's a part of your experience too. To move into mastery, you can't just flip into mastery. You've got to practice those vibrations. You have to practice discernment. You have to practice when to give your energy and how to give it away and who to give it away to. Because not everybody's going to need your light. Not everybody's going to want it. Not everybody's going to have the capacity to gain and interpret your light. So you have to have that discernment. You have to have that infinite, games and the suffering and all those things that go on in between, so that you finally get it. Well, wow, I'm just not meant to be there, right? That's just someone I shouldn't be sharing my light with, because it gets this and this and this. And you have those experiences of discernment, so that next time you know exactly the vibration of who and how to share it. And so that's just mastery, knowing who and how to share your light, knowing who and how to navigate energy, knowing how to navigate the energy within yourself, standing within your light and creating your reality right from within. That's the way it's always meant to be. And of course, everything in between is always good and perfect, because again, everybody is on a different path. And again, it's the energies through which you learn through, such to give and grow and evolve. So that's what we said. For the soul's experience to gain mastery, you must go through infinite navigations of what mastery isn't, right? You have to do the work, right? To master compassion is many, many lifetimes. Many, many lifetimes to master compassion. And so that's a huge, integral, angelic, ambassadorial gift that one must take lifetimes to practice compassion. And why we have such lifetimes, if you are going to be a master of compassion, you will have many lifetimes of great suffering, and taking yourself in and out of suffering, and watching people in and out of suffering, and helping others in and out of suffering. The soul's experience is somewhat patterned. It has been, because we've been 3D for thousands of years, right? And we come from infinite bodies of patterning, and that's mental. That's the ego. So now, as all of our subconscious is being lifted, because we're all light and we're all soul now that we're soul, we release the patterning. We become less dense of patterned matter. Patterned matter. They're all programs. We say the matrix is just patterns. Patterns of energy and codes that are now being rewritten and now being thrown up in the air to be bathed in light and recycled into soul programs. Soul programs are what we said earlier. When you recognize that you're a soul and your heart pulsation affects somebody in India, and your light to them and your freedom and liberation to them helps affect the integration of wishing for a free country and a liberated body. So that's what we're saying is you're living as a soul. You become less and less patterned and you become more and more soul infused. So they said the soul's experience is somewhat patterned, becoming less and less so because we're becoming more light. And as we become more light, it is light. It's a harmonic song. It has become perfect with spirit. There is no need for patterns as spirit. Spirit is the flow of God. If God wants you to experience a flower here, you're going to experience a flower there. It's not patterned. It's flowing. And that's why surrender is such a big part of mastery. Can you surrender and trust unconditionally that you are with spirit? You'll always be taken care of. You're always safe. You are always with spirit, always. Can you trust it? Can you surrender into it? That's releasing a lot of ego. Saying, yes, spirit, I know I'm always taken care of. That's a part of mastery as well. Unconditional trust and surrender. So the soul, as you're living as a soul, you're becoming less and less patterned, right? So you're commanding all now moments. You have the opportunity in all now moments to become less and less patterned. As we said earlier, taking yourself out of routine and habits to enhance not only all of you, but how you experience life and how, again, life experiences you, because it's always micro, macro, inner, outer, and you of the soul and the soul of you. Because remember, as we said earlier, this is where you're getting into the soul. Everything that you do, all your choices affect all others. Affect all others. It affects all others. That's why in the future, in the very near future, anything that might think is hidden is never hidden, because everything will be known. That's the integration of the oneness of the heart. Everything is known. Your choice here in being passionate and loving and compassionate and kind to your body and loving to your body affects the soul over here and the body over there. It feels it. It's a pulsation of the heart matter, which is quantum, which is multidimensional, which is Christic. And that is what I just explained, how you of the soul experiences itself and the soul experiences you. Your soul experiences you. And how all experiences experience you as the vastness of you. I mean, we can't. This is profound. I don't know if you guys are excited, but I'm really excited. The vastness of you, as I said, when we were talking about the beings in the, the library of the Akash. That's you, because you're one with God. And you're saying, okay, God, I'm going to rewrite this. Me and God. It's me and God. Just like God showed me the galaxies. Here you go. There's another one. And and you can say, wow, I'm so passionate about that. How can I bring that down to earth? How can I help earth? How can I ground these high vibrational informations and energies? And we get to be really brand new. And my excitement, my energy, my passion affects everybody else. Wow, I did my job today. I'm gonna live with no regrets. That's living with no regrets. That your vibration, your core vibration creates a new reality. And you affect all those other that are sitting on their couch saying, wow, I feel so sad and depressed today. You're saying, no, get up and be passionate. You got this. You got this. This is only temporary. Shake it off. Clear it out. I'm a soul and I care about you because you're part of my soul. You're part of my soul family. And I care about you. And I want you to feel passionate about who you are as perfect. I want you to feel passionate about who your name is, with spirit, with source, with creator, with all creation. That you have beings that you can't see, but you will see them. You will feel them. Just tune in. Align with who you are at the heart and start becoming more passionate about who you are. And feel your body as this beautiful spiritual package so that you take yourself out of disease and take yourself out of harm and take yourself out of the density that holds you in a routine. Because your body wants to live as spirit. Your body wants to create as the soul. And you are infinite in creating and rewriting a new story for yourself. And so they said, do not, okay, so here this last part is good too. I need to slow down on that. Okay, so we'll go up to that part. You command all new now moments. And you have the opportunity to enhance not only all that you are and how you experience life, but how all else experiences you. Because remember, you are the spiritual body, and how people interact with you is being affected by your light. Remember, you're known by your light. So just you being impassioned of you affects everybody else, and how they experience you, how they interact with you. Because they're getting an aspect of light, they're getting an aspect of codes that they've never had before, interacting with you at that level of passion, that level of giftedness, that level of just being authentic and genuine. And how your soul experiences you. The soul is vast and wide, and it aches for your inclusion at the human level. As we said earlier, this is the micro macro of what I said about the 11th dimensional creators, 12th dimensional creators. They are interpreting, although they've seen everything I've experienced, and were listening to my summation and my story and my passionate disclaimer of, no, I want to rewrite that. I get to write my story here, and I'm going to affect my whole soul's journey in the process. But this is how I experience. This is really important to my soul. Can we rewrite that? I want that to go in the Akash. And the 12th dimensional creators, they needed that passionate summation from me, because they were only getting that perspective from their perspective of vibration. But my human experience was really, really important, because I know that my human experience affects everybody on earth. Important. It's really important. It affects my future timeline. It affects my future body that I come back in. It affects my children. It affects everybody that I've ever come with, past, present, and future. Do you see what I'm saying? Everything is now. The passion, you are now. You were right. The timeline's now. You affect those that are really in suffering now. So the more passionate you are, you're helping everybody that is not in passion. The more in love with you are, you affect everybody that is not in self-love. The more sovereign you are in choosing your own healthy life, you're helping those that are not in sovereignty and living from programs of fear and giving their power away and having unhealthy bodies because they've given their power away. So the more that you live in the state of the spiritualness of who you are, claiming your sovereignty, claiming your body's engagement with spirit as the soul, you affect all else, because your soul is vast. It's experiencing you, just like the micro macro of God. So the micro macro that they showed me in my session today, you, the body of you, and why you just love yourself and just give yourself that self-healing when you're going through, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day of self-love. You, the body of you, the encasing of you, the soul of you, is the soul's experience of spirit. And that's why spirit knows in the synchronistic moments of now, how spirit threads to you what you need, when you need, how you need it. Because spirit is simultaneously God in all aspects of creation, just like in that galaxy that he was God and Mother Father were creating. He, she, Mother, Father. You holding your body in self-love 3 or 4 times a day is the soul's experience of spirit. You're a package of soul that spirit is. And spirit will meet you equal measure, because your soul is vast and beautiful as spirit. You are the cell, the micro macro of spirit. You are given everything, because you see what we're saying here. I'm offering you, and I'm offering you this teaching of the wisdoms of the ancients. You are spirit. You can choose to start declaring yourself as spirit, your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul, every cell within you, so that that cell that is diseased with cancer or an illness or a disease, you can now change its transformation and call it spirit, because you are the cell, you're the package that spirit is, and spirit knows that. Spirit knows if any one of his cells, any one of his soul is suffering. And spirit will send what is needed at that time, but it's up to us to ask and to open and receive unconditional trust and reactivate the heart chakras. Mind-boggling, right? Our planetary social issues, so many of them can be resolved by such simple teachings that may at first seem far out and uninterpretable. But when the gifts and the skills and the wisdoms and the remembrances start turning on about how multidimensional and how vast we are, so much of our social issues will be resolved, because we'll begin to reclaim our power. We'll begin to reclaim the energies and the power we've been giving away to systems and routines that don't serve the soul and the spirit. And we're going to start manifesting who we are as God, because we are. We know ourselves as the cells of God, the bodies of God. And so we teach these things with the offering of the highest unconditional love through the councils of light. And as we've said many times before, I don't have any bosses. Anybody that has used my work and has been taking our ideas that we've been offering through the kindness of the Ascension programs, through our planetary experiences, and using them as their own and creating money in exchange that have given us no credit or emails. Thus far, I've received no payment on anything or any emails of any offering from anybody that has used our energy and our offerings. And so those that have been making money, just know that those are parts of your own soul's experience to understand free exchange, and the karma boards. Those are the energies that I'm offering from my channeled experience from the highest of the councils, and are to be used and exchanged freely with those that create it. And so the councils of light have said many times before that they will be blocked. And we stand by that, because it's time for me to be honored in the blessedness that I am. I've come forward many, many lifetimes as a sacred teacher and a queen from the heavens. And these are my private, personal offerings as the sacred queen of the star mother planets and Earth. And I'm very happy and proud to say that I've worked through so many of the collective social issues and understanding the psyche wounds that come with misrepresenting energies and ideas and papers from others. And so I understand the psyche wounds that are behind it, and I offer you all compassion. So those that are using any of our stuff, you will be blocked if you're not using it in the kindness and the goodness of the free exchange, or emailing and asking to be a part of the program of light, for us to have a fair exchange of monies and ideas, for obviously that is of goodwill, right? It's only common sense. But obviously there are still those that seek to do it in other ways. And so I have the highest of compassion for you on your soul's journey. But these are our interpretations as you're offering in these free channels, to offer humanity through not having to come to me in private sessions and appointments. We offer them in little snippets, and some of it we hold back, and some of it we're going to encapsulate in books and other training experiences, so that we can retain our source of income and our source of money exchange for me, because I do have to survive in the experience. And I'm now asking for these exchanges for the high vibrational wisdoms that we offer forward. And we thank you, those of you that have been with us for so long. So their last statement here is, do not misinterpret your soul by thinking it is outside or distant from you, for it is all of you in the grouping of you, and in all moments that you have, and you are the happiness that you are. You share it not only with yourselves and all that you are as a vast soul, but you share it with all others, for it is the essence of spirit. Spirit is always joy in the happiness of all creation. So your soul's laughter within creation, your soul's happiness within creation, and the knowing of itself is the itself of itself. So that is the God of the God, the micro, the macro. So your whole soul and all creation is forever changed. That's why you are known by creation, by your life. And that's why, again, you're known by the vibration that you keep. You're known by the vibration of which you speak. So all of that we've created is in our vibration of truthfulness and honor to the programs of light, through which it is my soul's passion to come forward and offer. And many of you that have known me for years and years and years, I've been a passionate teacher at heart, and I love nothing more than to assist humanity in the most cost-effective way that many of you have come and to enjoy our teachings over the many, many years, whether it be through our radio show and many other experiences, and know that we're going to be growing and expanding in many more ways. And the vibration that I offer is truly my heart to your heart, knowing that you're a liberated soul and a liberated being of light. Know that you are a part of the one family. You're a part of the compassionate story of love and light. And we honor you so much. And we will be starting in January. We will be starting classes weekly. And so what we're trying to shift is shorter videos, because they want to ensure that the fair exchange, and I'm not expending too much energy where I'm not getting, fair exchange. So we're going to shorten up the videos, and we're going to have classes for those that want to pay and be a part of that exchange program for that high vibrational information activations, light language, song, and other vocational alignments and other vocational experiences. Because again, it's about me absolutely creating the vocational expansiveness to touch as many souls and hearts as possible in the highest vibration as possible, and to allow me the space and the time that's needed to repair my body and nourish my body so that I can give the highest vibrational information. And it does require that I care and I live and I move in a different way. And so I don't have any bosses, it's just me. I have one person that works for me intermittently to help me with the illustrations, and it's a very sacred soul person that has been with me since I started. And so I survive off of the donations and my work as a spiritual teacher and an evolutionarist, as a visionary and a conduit. And most all that I do has always been for the benefit of the benevolence of creation and humanity. And so any donations that those offer and come to me for private sessions, I'm very grateful. We do group and collective webinars and classes for many group collectives. For those of you that would like to get in touch with me, my email is below. And I will be only offering the 444 special reading. My normal readings are $200 US. And so these 444 sessions are $40 for 40 minutes. And that gives you a really, a lot, you get a lot in 40 minutes. And so I'll be putting up some feedback from the first set of group that I had. And there's such amazing comments. I'm so grateful to be a part of everybody's path. And we're going to do one card from our Starseed path. And we hope that you enjoyed that. Please put your comments below. I don't know anything about YouTube as far as comments and things like that, about the algorithms, but apparently the comments have, comments are, I don't know, they do something with the algorithm or something to see if you're liking the channel or something. I don't know. I just hear other YouTube say it. I don't know. So let's pick out one, just jumped out. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, that's really, so deep cellular healing is the healing energies from Arcturius, and you can ask them when you're going to bed at night to ask for the deep healing if you're going through certain dark night of the soul releases and things like that. And the whale and orca elders. The whale and orca elders are those that work with us. I'm so grateful. I'm so, I send you light. They're always communing with me. They're part of my souls. And the gratitude of all souls for the songs of the earth that they help heal our earth through the sounds and the oceans of life. Anything that we go through as a collective through the weather, shifts in the weather changes, is because our planet is renewing herself. And we all know, just as we're going through Ascension, so does she, that when we're all going through these really profound times and these really profound shifts, the first place that it occurs is through the oceans. And so why we're seeing a lot of water on our planet right now, just purging and purifying and bathing and cleansing a lot of the darkness and the density that we've all had a part in playing. So in any moment that you can, live as the soul, know that you affect everything and everything on earth and well as off earth. You affect your entire soul, that when you're passionate and loving about who you are, and we want to express our highest gratitude and love for all of you, and be the beautiful love and expansiveness of who you are. We rainbow you in all ways to live your life as the beautiful soul that you are, and love your body as a spiritual body, and start becoming that harmonization of who you are as the beautiful, beautiful, sacred child of earth. And we love you so much, dear lighted ones. Bye.